Faith Ringgold is an American author, teacher, and celebrated artist. She was born and raised in New York City, and her work often describes the energy and excitement of the city. Faith is a painter, quilt maker, sculptor, performance artist, writer, and teacher. Her work is shown all over the world. Her first book, Tar Beach, was published in 1991. It's won over 20 awards. Faith Ringgold's quilt artworks are created to share her writing and tell her stories. Double Dutch on the Golden Gate Bridge. To your left, Groovin' High to your right. The Sunflower Quilting Bee at Arles. On the left, Tar Beach on the right. Let's create our own cityscape. All you need are a pencil with an eraser, black permanent marker, oil pastels or crayons, and watercolors with a paintbrush. Also a book or a ruler. Start by using your pinky to measure around the edge of your paper. This will help us draw a rectangle inside of our paper. Next, you're going to use a book or a ruler to connect those dashes with a straight line. Next, we're going to draw our horizon line. I went ahead and drew 2 dashes where I wanted that to go, and I connected them with a light line. We're going to work from the foreground to the horizon line. For the foreground, I drew a big building with a rooftop that I will add details to later. When I begin to draw my collection of buildings, you can start with a rectangle with diagonal lines that help give it dimension, make it look 3D. It is important to remember as you draw your cityscape that every row of buildings are further from the viewer, so they're going to grow smaller and smaller. Once I draw my second row of buildings, I'm going to draw my background, which is going to be a point of interest. You can draw whatever you like, a statue or a monument, something that makes you think of family or comfort. I chose to draw the St. Louis Arch because I have family in St. Louis. Once I draw that background, I will continue to fill in my foreground with buildings, which will overlap, go in front of and behind my background. These buildings are going to be the furthest away, so they are going to be the smallest. Then I will begin to draw the details of my foreground. That is what is happening on this rooftop. We are having a picnic because my family enjoys those. We're going to have a putt-putt golf course because why not? That is something that I enjoy doing with my family. The details of your foreground might overlap and even stretch past the outline of your rooftop. And we also grow some beautiful flowers and plants So I will draw those in as well. You can add details that make you think of your family. Once you have finished your foreground, you can add details to each building. That can be chimney tops or lights or pipes and a perimeter around that helps create dimension. The more details, the more interesting your cityscape is going to be. Next, I use the straight edge of my watercolors to create what will be quilt squares around the perimeter of my paper. Have fun and draw lines, shapes, and patterns in each square. You should be relaxing. Next, take your permanent marker and trace over all of your pencil marks. Take your time, and it helps if you work from front to back. With an eraser, erase all of your pencil marks. Take your oil pastels or crayons and color details in your drawings. Whatever you color will stand out against the watercolors. I chose to work in warm colors. I also use my yellow crayon to draw warm, glowing windows in my buildings. Again, this will stand out against the watercolors. And then I paint with my watercolors. It is nighttime, so I am using a lot of cool colors and muddy colors. So I am mixing browns and blues and blacks in my watercolor set. I use a lot of water to make my colors lighter. Here we are. That completes our Faith Ringgold inspired cityscape.